It's impressive. There's 2 people online as soon as I logged in. How bizarre. No, only one. Now 0. Not impressed with watching me pour tea. Hi, Robin. Welcome. Hey, Darnell. Hi, Danny. Question. Are the aliens going to save us eventually? Answer. They are saving us now. They are giving us the tools and techniques that we need to save ourselves. So I guess you could say they're going to show us how to save ourselves rather than save us. But in a way, they are saving us. We put out the call. So if you're watching this live stream, you must have, in part of your consciousness, put out a call consciously or subconsciously for help, either because you feel our planet's screwed, or more likely initially because you feel you're screwed from living on this planet. But also, I think for many of us, we want to, when we're in a truly centered place, we do want to save each other as well. Hi, Drunatic. Hi, Phileni. So the ETs are saving us now. That's what they're doing by sharing the information on how we can shift parallel realities, shift through parallel realities, by sharing information on understanding the nature of reality. And by showing us who we are, because really we can't be unsaved, we can't be not saved. We just believe that we're not saved. We believe that we have no salvation. We believe that we're screwed, but ultimately we're not, because we're like infinite beings of pure consciousness, existing beyond the mind, beyond the body, beyond Earth. So worst case scenario, Earth blows up, we're free into our expanded infinite self. Of course, we don't want that, because Earth is fun, yes? So but they're showing us how we can save ourselves in the physical plane too. Ultimately, by understanding that we are infinite immortal beings, we through following our excitement, through finding our calling and following that path that leads us back home to who we truly are, it enables us to shift frequency into a love, light, compassion frequency. And when we're emitting love, light, and compassion, oneness, deep peace, infinity, these frequencies, when we're emitting these frequencies, they begin to reflect back to us. Technically, what happens is we shift to a new parallel reality that reflects back our new state of consciousness, a parallel reality where people are more peaceful, more happy, more free, more fulfilled, more aligned with their calling, their purpose, their excitement. And so this is how the ETs are saving us. They're giving us the tools to shift to a new reality, to change our reality. They're teaching us how to manifest energetically, vibrationally. They're teaching us that what we actually do with our physical hands is only a small part of the game. And perhaps like taking action is necessary because it reinforces our will to change. So this is the ET saving process. This is how they're saving us. They're coming and they're saying, hey, humans, you're infinite beings of infinite consciousness. You're free like a bird. Create your own reality. This is a dream. All this reality is a dream within our consciousness. No more real than a dream at night, for it's all just expressions of consciousness within our infinite self. And when we come to see this and believe it and experience it and integrate it, we become more confident in ourselves as creators of our reality. We see the synchronicities lining up. We see that we really are creating our own reality, that this really is a dream within our consciousness. And like we can in a lucid dream at night, we can alter our dream through our will, as long as it's not coming from ego and need and lack and selfishness and greed. If it's coming from a place of surrender and acceptance of and gratitude and love, because ultimately love and gratitude is acceptance and surrender. We need to be in all the positive vibrations of love and gratitude for our reality. And if we're not surrendered and accepting what our reality is in the moment, we're not in love and gratitude for that reality. So we can't really be in that frequency where we allow and create a resonance that can truly create a better reality. And it can help to see that, like, we can't, what is happening is happening. The mind thinks it can change it by panicking about it, but it can't. And when we just accept that what is what is, and what's going to happen is what's going to happen. What our higher self hands us is what our higher self is going to hand us. When we have gratitude and love and appreciation for what we're experiencing and whatever comes in the future, knowing that it's exactly what we need, can also help to see that what is happening is what we need. Like when you look back on your hardest challenges, if you really like observe what occurred, you will see that exactly what happened to you in that darkest hour was exactly what you needed to take you to the next level of consciousness. So we're always getting exactly what we need. And so if we can be in gratitude and love and appreciation and acceptance and surrender for what we have and what we are, because ultimately what we have is what we are, because there is no separation. It's a dream within our consciousness. You are what I am. You are within me. So if we can accept that and surrender to it and have love and appreciation for what the present moment brings to us, whatever it is, knowing that it's exactly what we need to accelerate us forward. From that place, we can enter a very centered, balanced, present, still, silent, joyful, mostly, but not always. Or perhaps the more we surrender into the stillness, the more we experience the joy. But even when the pain and the suffering and the anxiety comes in the present moment, just accepting that as the present moment. Okay, I'm anxious now. How exciting. An anxious experience in infinite consciousness. And the more we can stay centered, this is what Eckhart Tolle calls the power of now. So the book, The Power of Now. So what the power of now means is the power that comes from now, the power that comes from being in the present moment. And the power is that we create, when we're in the present moment, we're centered with our infinite self, our divine self, our infinite presence. And from there, our reality reflects back to us that state of being, that state of consciousness, a reality that mirrors that state of being, that mirrors peace, joy, presence, alertness, awareness, gratitude, love, and good things start to happen. We shift to a parallel reality where better and better things happen all the time. So that's how the ETs are saving us. By teaching us this. So the ETs are saving us now. So, it's going to be a long live stream if every question takes that long to answer. Is there another planet that's currently experiencing destruction like planet Earth in this galaxy? I don't think so. I don't know. I think what planet Earth is going through at present is quite unique to the universe, not just the galaxy, but the universe. This universe, for there are many. infinite, I guess. What was the question? Where am I? Oh yeah. Yeah, I think like what's happening on Earth is pretty unique, fairly unique. There's not many places in this universe that are going through this cycle. For what's happening, as I understand it, is we're going through like a like as we see in like ancient Egypt and some of these mystery school teachings, they talk about the cyclical nature of reality, cycles going up and down and ascending into heights of civilization and descending into chaos and ascending again, descending, and but always spiraling. It's a spiral, not a cycle. So each cycle builds on the last cycle, and each descent will be slightly higher than the last descent, and each ascent will be higher than the previous ascent. So around 12,000 years ago, we were at the peak of this cycle in Atlantis, the peak of spiritual evolution, high spiritual knowledge, amazing manifestation powers, powers to create our own reality. But then we naturally went into the downward cycle, the return from spirit, like we ascended the heights of spiritual evolution, where the manifest world means nothing to us because we know we are infinite beings of love like consciousness. So we aren't that bothered by the physical reality, because when you're in bliss and infinite consciousness, the physical reality doesn't have so much pull on you. And but from that place, we had amazing manifestation power. We could, I should imagine, instantaneously manifest anything we wanted because we weren't attached to it. But then what happened? We started the descent 12,000 years ago into a 12,000 year cycle of descent and return into matter, identification with matter and form. And so negative energies crept in, controlling beings, power, hungry entities entered this reality and began to use this high spiritual knowledge and the way the collective consciousness was formed at that time into the belief that we can create our own reality to do great powerful acts of manifestation, but also acts of control. And so what's happened is we've cycled all the way down, slowly descending more and more through ancient Egypt, where at the start of it was a lot of high spiritual beings still highly focused, and descending into the distortion towards power and control, and cycling down to the bottom of this cycle around now. But now we've hit the bottom and we're going back up again. We've literally, like December the 21st, 2012 was the fulcrum point where we shifted from an overall negatively oriented society to an overall positively oriented society. And now we're beginning another probably 12,000-ish or 11,600, something like that, cycle of the equinoxes, cycle up and to a peak in around 12,000 years. Because I believe it's to do with we can like how the Mayans like pinpointed December the 21st, 2012 is because they understood the precession of the equinoxes, how the stars move around the Earth. I don't understand it fully, but it's something to do with the movement of the center of the galaxy, or the center of the universe, center of the galaxy around our Earth, and we can measure time. And it'll be one like galactic cycle every 24,000 years or 26,000 years or something like this, according to the precession of the equinoxes, which is the zodiac signs. Like we've just moved through we're finishing the age of Pisces and moving into the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. And so, yeah, and so we're just going through this fulcrum point of, we're right at the bottom of the fulcrum. We're right in that shift point. Of course, it was like 3 years ago, but on a galactic scale, we're just coming through this transformation, and the positive energies are flooding into this planet. But there's still a lot of service to self and power and control oriented entities on this planet wanting to control and take power over humanity for their own gains. But there's also a massive amount of light workers and old souls and star seeds and wanderers and like very high frequency beings. So there's such a hodgepodge, is that a word? There's such a like jumble of like entities on this planet at the minute. Some very low vibrational beings, some very powerful negatively oriented entities, some extremely powerful love light oriented entities, and we are much more weighted towards the light now. There's no going back. We have definitely shifted to a very positive version of Earth where the light is flooding in, and we are winning this battle enormously now. So but there's very few places in the galaxy, in the universe even, where there is this kind of crux of like what we might call a third density reality moving into a fourth density reality. It's the idea that identification with the physical plane and the belief that I am the mind, I am the body, I need to fight to survive is the most intense catalyst for spiritual evolution. The most intense, like forging a diamond out of carbon in the heart of a fire, in the heart of Earth. That's like what it's like where we are on Earth. Like that's what third density is like. It's like out of all the densities, it's the fastest acceleration what we go through in third density because we have the contrast of belief we're separate and we can die, and the contrast of having all the negative energy like forcing us to go within, go deeper to find the light, find more light, to transcend all the negative influence and negative fear in this reality. We can't accelerate at the same rates in other dimensions, in other densities of creation, higher densities or lower densities, because in those densities we know we are one. Like in the lower densities there is only oneness and we don't really know anything. We just experience ourselves as a unity consciousness. When we're a plant to an animal or a rock, they don't experience the illusion of separation as we do in third density. And in fourth density, in the higher densities, if we use this structure symbol of reality, that basically the higher dimensions, the higher densities, the lower dimensions, the lower densities, there's no illusion, there's no belief in separation, and this belief in fear and struggle and strife and negativity and polarity, it doesn't exist in the other densities. So there's no such fast, strong, powerful catalyst to drive us in. Because I'm sure you realize how we make our strongest leaps forward spiritually is in our darkest moments, because we have that catalyst. We're forced within when we're like in deep pain and like feel like we're dying and suffering and exhausted and like anxiety or whatever our darkest moments are. We have no option when we're on the spiritual path just to go deeper, just meditate more, follow our excitement more, surrender more, go deeper. And this is why our reality is such a fast catalyst. Our outer reality is catalyzing our spiritual evolution so hard, like a diamond being forged in the bowels of hell. It's kind of what it's like. Imagine like a lump of carbon, a lump of coal, like right in the middle of the earth with like raging fires, an inferno blazing around it, like the inferno of hell. It's kind of like what we are, like as spiritual beings on earth at the minute. We're like a lump of coal, like in a blazing inferno of molten lava being forged into a pure diamond. And so that's why, and there aren't many places in the universe, as I understand it, or definitely in the galaxy, where there's this much transformation of consciousness occurring, where we're at this fulcrum point, this crux points, moving from the darkness and rapidly accelerating into the light, like the rubber band analogy that Bashar uses. Like the further you pull back into the darkness, when you finally surrender and let go, we go flying into the light. And that's what's occurring on the planet at the minute. And we're seeing a huge acceleration of consciousness, huge transformation into love light frequencies at the minute. And yes, so as I understand, and that's why there's so many ETs here, so many consciousnesses, all looking in on this reality, because we're where it's happening. This is the big stage. This is the place to be in the universe. This is the place to be incarnate, and this is the place to be observing. there's no greater evolution or very few places in the universe that are accelerating at a greater rate than what we are now, where learning is occurring on a global scale, on a universal scale, at a rate as fast as this. So no, there's really nowhere like Earth in the universe, and it's epic, and we're here, and we've got the front row seats. Will our ET guides give us signs to know where to be to make contact with the right ET group at the right time? Possibly, but I think more it'll just happen naturally, synchronistically. Because I think what happens when it's time to make physical contact is, prior to the event occurring, we begin to merge consciousness with the ET civilization or individual we are about to make contact with. And what happens is our frequency begins to rise, even in the weeks and months prior to this contact experience. Our frequency begins to rise, and our synchronicity begins to rise. Our spiritual consciousness begins to rise, and it creates a natural frequency rise. It creates greater frequency, and that coupled with the fact that the ET civilizations have like massive synchronicity. They like, at least the Yael and the Sasani, as I understand them, probably most of the evolved ET races, they live on a kind of pure synchronicity, like where they just resonate to where they need to be in every given moment. Just naturally, it just happens. They're just so tuned in. They're just like, oh, I think I'm going to go here. Oh, that's why I need to be here. And that's coupled with our increase in synchronicity. We synchronize together, and what's happened? We're kind of like going like this, like they're up there in hyperspace, and we're down here on Earth, and we just and we can't think, I need to go here. I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to go here, and they contact occurs, and we like teleport onto the ship or whatever happens. So yeah, I think it just more naturally happens from synchronicity around contact. Massive synchronicity occurs. So while there may be signs, and it can be worth possibly looking out for, the issue with that is that you might get your mind involved, and as soon as the mind gets involved, that synchronicity goes and stops happening. So it might be best just to surrender to it. As Bashar says, appointments have been made, and the only thing that will stop us from making those appointments is worrying that we won't make the appointments. So just surrender and trust that the appointments will happen, because they will happen. A big reality shift occurs around contact, and it just happens. We don't have to worry about making the appointments. We just need to let it happen, let it flow. When you shift reality, is it like Bashar describes? Yeah, as far as I know, it's exactly like Bashar describes. It's like, I mean, we're shifting all the time, as Bashar describes. We are shifting every moment. Like to use the Bashar analogy, it's like the movie projector slide, or like a strobe light. It's like every if you imagine a strobe light flashing, I'm not sure if this is a Bashar analogy. I've heard it somewhere, I think. Like, imagine a strobe light flashing, you know, like you get in a club where it flashes really fast and it makes you look like, when you're dancing, you look really cool. You're like, it's like, that's kind of like reality. Like every instant, like we're shifting through like millions of parallel realities every moment. Like this is a new reality, and this is a new reality, and this is a new parallel 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 reality, and this and this and this and this and this and this and this. They're all, every instant is a new parallel reality. So we're shifting all the time. So as Bashar says, it's not about learning to shift realities. It's about learning how to shift into the reality we prefer. We don't need to learn how to shift realities. We're doing that naturally all the time. Like, this is how reality is structured. Like every instant is a new parallel reality, a new projection of our infinite consciousness. This is all that's happening. We are infinite consciousness, and we're projecting a new reality. We're projecting a new reality. We're projecting a new reality to give ourselves the illusion of this time-space reality, the illusion of time, the illusion of a continuity reality-based reality. So we don't need to learn how to shift. We're always shifting. Every instant is a new parallel reality, new parallel reality, new parallel reality, new parallel reality, new parallel reality. All we need to learn to do is how to keep our frequency high, stay centered, stay fear-free, stay centered and unified in our pure consciousness, pure awareness, in the present moment, in trust, in belief that whatever we need to experience, we'll experience. And in surrender, acceptance that if something negative occurs, it's good for our reality, or it's not negative in a way. But don't focus on that. Just trust that whatever's occurring is fine, because we're infinite immortal beings. You know, we can't be affected. Nothing can have a negative effect on us, because we are infinite, unbound, and free. So yeah, it's just learning to stay positive and just surrender to the infinite positivity that we are in the present moment. And the higher we take our frequency, the more joy we experience, the more bliss, the more centeredness, the more any positive frequency, creativity, love, compassion, joy, peace, any positive frequency will cause us to shift to a parallel reality. That is, so yes, it's exactly how Bashar describes. It's not about learning how to shift realities, it's about learning how to shift to the reality we prefer. Thank you. I'm glad you like my cup. Are there humans with alien implants? I scratched behind my ear. I remember when I had my first contact experience, I made a video that is actually uploaded to my channel. It's called From the Vaults, my 2009 contact experience. And if you look at that video, I'm being filmed from the left, and I've got this great big red like boil behind my ear. It's not pleasant. It was like quite big, and it's still quite significant. I can't really show. Well, maybe I can show you. I don't know if you'll see it or not. Just there's like this lump behind my ear. And that appeared after my first contact experience. And apparently it's quite a common place to have implants placed behind just there. So who knows, maybe a coincidence. But yeah, it seems that like certainly the Zeta Greys, the abduction guys, the parents of the Yael and the Sasani, the other half of the equation. For we are hybrids. The Yael and the Sasani are hybrids of humans and the Zeta Greys as a product of the abduction phenomena. And so yeah, the Zeta Greys are well known for putting implants in humans so that they can track them. I've also heard of other implants, like upgrades to upgrade psychic powers and stuff like this. I'm sure that reality exists on some level. But yeah, so I might even have one myself. Maybe one day I'll get x-rayed or something. I had another little lump come up after it's still there a bit actually. I feel it after my second contact experience 9 years later in 2018, just gone. I had another lump appear just here, and that went down, but there is still something there. I can feel it. I don't thought there needs to be 2 implants, would you? Maybe that's an upgraded implant. Who knows? I've been doing CE5 for a while. Haven't witnessed anything significant yet. Any pointers on getting some actual serious contact? Yeah, just keep going. And I think more important for me was than the actual CE5 protocols. I've never really done. Actually, I was doing CE5. That's exactly how it happened the first time. with Stephen Greer's coherent thought sequencing protocol. That is how it started for me. But since then, I think what's as important is just to spend a lot of time meditating and opening your heart. Open heart is a big one. If you can do heart chakra meditations to open your heart consciousness, even just holding your hands over your heart. It's a big one because they resonate towards love and compassion, and they're repelled by fear and ego. So a lot of meditation and a lot of heart opening, and whilst doing your heart opening exercises, just sort of put it out there. Like, I think if we can stay in a heart-centered place of love light consciousness, this is a very resonant frequency that resonates with them. So this is what I'd suggest. And just keep putting out, do a lot of meditation, a lot of heart opening, and just sort of putting it out there that you want to make contact. Just perhaps meditate every night and sort of pray even if that resonates with you. Like God, higher self, spirit, soul, counterparts, ET, if you're out there, I'd like to see you. I'd like to make contact on some level. And just keep going. It's like sometimes I can sort of go for months sort of trying to make contact and it doesn't really happen for a while. I was doing C5 every night for around 6 weeks initially before I had my contact experience. I think it was very relevant to my life journey, my life path. So in a way, it was inevitable it was going to happen. But it probably is for you as well. If you're drawn to C5, it's probably very relevant for your path. So just staying authentic, just staying love centered, compassion centered. Do it for the if you can do it, just like seeing, like just hold your hands over your heart and just sort of hold the intent to connect with ET consciousness out of love, just out of love, just out of love for experiencing an intimate connection with another consciousness. Yo, what interstellar society did I see this morning? I don't know. If I was channeling, I may be able to connect to something, but maybe I'll see if I get something. Possibly the Yael. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yael, Pleiadians. Pleiadians came to mind at first. Where are I? Oops, did I skip? Oh dear, I lost track of the questions. Oh, we have a lot of questions. Feel free to what's it called? Super chat, power chat. What's it called? Where you pay money? Because there's loads of questions. I'm never gonna get. I'm never gonna get to them all. So feel free to, what's it called? There's a thing where you can donate like a $2 or $5. Show your support for Xenoplex Ray, super chat or something. So be nice to have some money, and you'll get your question highlighted. I'll try and get through as many as I can anyway. There's like loads, and I've lost my place. Looks like the SSRNI, aka us, were right. We're gonna be the UFOs to others' worlds pretty soon. Have you seen a UFO before? Yes, I take it you don't follow my channel very regularly, Sophie. Yeah, yeah, I had contact with ET. I had a contact experience in September, and I actually caught them. They appeared, they flashed us on Facebook live stream. So you can look on my YouTube channel. It's the main video. It's like the if you go to the channel, it's the big video at the top. It's not quite as good as the Facebook original. It's better if you click on that video and then click in the Facebook link and watch the Facebook original. It's much better quality. And the Yael, the race I'm in contact with, like flashes several times during a Facebook live stream. But yeah, I've seen quite a few UFOs. I might make some videos about all my contact experiences. Oh, and by the way, I did a interview with last night. I was live on Irish radio. Oh, hey, I got $5. Woohoo! Thank you. I'll check out in a sec. Yeah, last night I was on Irish radio. What's it called? The Niall Boylan show. Yeah, I got invited on an Irish radio show to do an interview about ET contact, and it was really good. I really enjoyed the interview. So I'll put the link somewhere, maybe. Keep your eye out on my YouTube channel. I'm going to upload it there. I think. I realize I haven't even got a link. So right, I'm going off track. People are logging off because I'm getting distracted. But yeah, keep your eye out on my YouTube channel for, I think they're going to send me a recording of it. So I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel. If not, I'll share the link with you guys next week. If you look up the Niall Boylan show, NIALLBOYLAN, you can find their webpage, and I think there's a podcast of it up. It was an awesome interview. He asked some great questions. We went really deep. So, oh gosh, oh yeah, I'll look at the super chat question. What? Oh yeah, Shambhala Institute. Thank you, Shambhala. How would you suggest dealing with a confirmed negative entity haunting? Projecting love and the mantra Om seem to work to stop activity. Yeah, I mean that was really exactly what I was going to say, Shambhala. So as Bashar teaches, and as I've always done myself, I've never used protection, because like if you use protection, you're like saying, I need to protect myself from this negative entity. And what you're doing is you're focusing on this negative entity, and you're attracting this negative entity in your reality. So when we use protection to protect ourselves from certain things, we tend to attract those to our reality. So it's a bit shifty. Bashar has always said the best protection you need is the belief that you don't need protection. So generally, I've never used protection, and generally, I've never had any issues with negative entities. Very rarely. The only issues I've had are from humans. Perhaps some sort of protection might have benefited me at some time from humans because I'm very sensitive to energies. So being around dense humans can be very straining on me. But I've never had any problems, really, very rarely, with negative energies. The few rare times I have, and it's never been serious, it's like been a bit weird, like some strange entity coming into my vision. I'm like, this isn't nice. So all I've ever done is open my heart up, like open your heart, because love, negative beings don't like love. They'll, if they're in the, if you shift your frequency to a frequency of love, any entity in that frequency will either leave your reality or will be transmuted into the love, will transform their consciousness into love to match you. So the only kind of protection I've ever used in the few rare instances when a bit weird energy has entered my reality is I've just focused on love. Yeah, just focusing on the most positive frequency you can possibly focus on is all you need to do, really. Just that and trust that the belief you don't need protection is the most powerful protection you can have, because what you believe, if you believe you don't need protection, you don't believe you don't need protection, because your beliefs create your reality. So but the only thing I could possibly think of is just love, just center in love, put your hands over your hearts. It's a real powerful way to. There's a real great video on YouTube. I can't remember, but yeah, just like any like exercise to open your heart chakra. But I think really just focusing our consciousness on it, like putting our hands over it. Yeah, literally over the heart. It like seems to be like slightly to the left where the heart is. And projecting love onto your own heart, like love your own heart. I love you, heart. I love you, me. And creating like a sense, the more you create a sense of love and compassion, like compassion seems to naturally come from love, like, and oneness. And the more you're in that state, nothing negative can exist in that state. The darkness is terrified of love, terrified. So yeah, how would you suggest dealing with a confirmed negative entity haunting? Projecting love and the mantra Om seem to work to stop activity. But yeah, you can also, like, I spend a lot of time cleansing my environment, because like particularly like living on Earth, like I just moved into this new place and it had the energy. Well, the people that lived here before were quite nice people. They were regular humans, and their frequency is a bit lower than mine. So I could sense it in the house when I was here. It took quite a bit of cleansing. Well, it wasn't horrible, it wasn't pleasant. And so I spend, like, I clean the house from top to bottom, like cleaning total, well, almost not quite yet, but I'm getting there. Like cleaning your area is a great way to cleanse away energies. Getting high vibration, like, whoops, things like this. 1 second. Like this is extremely beneficial for cleansing environments. anything that comes near this only stays positive. Like it's a pyramid, a gold-plated copper pyramid made to this exact same dimensions as the Great Pyramid at Giza, the main pyramid. Khafre? I can't remember. But yeah, the Great Pyramid at Giza in Egypt. So it's made to the same dimensions as that, and it's anything that comes near this just gets totally cleansed. I think it is actually designed to go on your head. It's a meditation head pyramid. But I just use it for just cleansing. Like if I move into a room that I feel needs cleansing, I put it in the middle of the room. Because the thing with crystals is crystals are great for cleansing, but the issue with crystals is they take on so much negative energy. And I find most people that use crystals, they're actually having the complete opposite effect, because they end up the crystals end up absorbing all their negative energy, all the negative energy of everyone around them, and just amplifying all the negative energy in a room. So I'm not a big fan of crystals. I think if you know what you're doing with crystals and know how to cleanse them well, and do cleanse them regularly, and are able to get crystals well cleansed, I think they are very powerful ways. But personally, I find this is amazing for cleansing an environment. I just put it in a room, in the middle of a room, and it instantly starts clear, particularly if you put anything underneath it. Like, so yeah, so always an incense, like get good incense. Like I've got some incense that was, I believe it was from Tibet, and I think it was probably made in a Tibetan monastery where the energy is very peaceful. And so the incense, you don't want some incense that comes from a factory. You ideally want to get some quality incense that is like handmade in India or in a Tibetan monastery or something like this, made in the highest frequency place possible. And if you can burn that in your room, that will transfer the frequencies into the room. So I'd also recommend this for clearing away any non-preferable energies. I cleanse a lot because I'm very sensitive to energies. I'm always cleaning rooms. I'm always cleansing with stuff like this. I'm always airing the room out, opening the windows to let air come through. Yeah, really anything to create positive energy. That's really the secret, because that's just focus on positivity. Anything to raise your frequency. Follow your excitement. Open your heart. Cleanse your environment. And because negative entities don't like positive frequencies, they're incompatible. Yeah, so thank you for the super chat, Shambhala. Yes, if anyone wants to get a question highlighted, just super chat, because we've got loads of questions. I've only answered like 5 questions, and we're 53 minutes in, so there's no chance we're going to get through all these. I'll take let's just choose a random question. If you activate your third eye, can you see the cine film reality? So I assume what this question is pointing to is what I just talked about how our reality is made up out of like time. The illusion of time is because there is no time. There is only infinite consciousness existing here and now as us, and everything exists here and now. And all that's happening is we're shifting our consciousness to a different frequency where a different experience of reality exists. And it seems to be structured into the nature of this third density physical reality, where the way we experience time is by passing through billions, millions, billions of parallel realities every second to give the illusion of time. So I think this is what the question is pointing to. Can we experience the cine film reality by opening our third eye? And to some extent, possibly yes. Because, so what happened to me prior to my recent contact experience, just before I had the missing time experience where I went on the Yaya ship, because I recorded it afterwards. Just before that last minute when I was merging energies with the Yael, I shifted to a frequency where I could see multiple parallel realities, I could see multidimensionally, I could see an array of potential future realities. I couldn't just see one forest. It's hard for me to recall, but it's like I could see multiple potential realities all at once in front of me, potential future realities. So I guess this is kind of what you're saying. Can you see into the cine film reality when your third eye opens? So I would say yes, because we begin to see multidimensionally. I've had other experiences where I've seen multidimensionally, not as intensely as that, but I remember I once saw an angel, and I saw in my third eye, I could see in the same place where the angel's head was. I could see the angel's head and face, but I could also see a multiple petaled lotus flower in the same place, so I see multidimensionally. So I think I might call it a day there, guys, because it's getting late here. Well, late by my standards. It's nearly 9 p.m. and I need to get some sleep. Can you explain how mass meditation can change the physical reality we live in? I guess so. So we create our reality collectively. So our reality is a collective co-creation. So while we shift our reality by raising our frequency and we shift to a different parallel reality within our consciousness, it seems like the real manifested power in our reality comes collectively. It's like we have collective co-agreements. Like, it's not easy to teleport and levitate and walk through walls in this current reality because we've collectively agreed that that isn't possible. But I believe that when we collectively agree that it is possible to teleport, it is possible to walk through walls, it will be easy because we all believe it. It's like because we're stuck to this ball, it somehow seems to be a co-creation. Like I remember sensing, like when the Yael, when I first started channeling, the Yael said, "You create your own reality. You create your own reality. You create your reality. You create your own reality." What I was sensing is that, in a way, while we do create it individually, what I sense they were saying is that you create your individual reality. They were talking to the collective. You create your reality because they don't see us as separate, because they're higher consciousness entities. They don't see separation how we do. I think they see us more as a collective consciousness. They struggle to see individuation. They struggle to see separate beings. They just see one consciousness. So I think more when they're speaking to you, to us, they're speaking to a collective. So we create our reality. We create our reality as a collective conscious. So mass meditation is extremely powerful because while we create our reality individually, the real creative power happens collectively as a collective consciousness. So like if we had 7 billion of us all meditating on love, light, frequency, we would shift reality like rapidly. But yeah, it's affecting, I believe what's happening is when mass meditation on positive frequencies, like they've done these tests, they've scientifically proven it several times, I believe. I think the Transcendental Meditation Society did this. It's a beautiful picture of like thousands and thousands of people all sat in a room meditating. Look it up. Transcendental meditation, mass meditation, group meditation. It's like this room and there's like millions of people, no, not millions, thousands of people all wearing whites, like sat on rugs in a big circle. It's a beautiful scene. And I believe they've proven it more than once, that when they did this group meditation, crime levels globally fell by 70%. And so this has been proven over and over again, as I understand it. I don't have the evidence personally, but I've heard a lot of people say that this has been scientifically proven. So what I believe happening is that we are collectively co-creating our reality. It's a co-creation. The manifestive power of our collective reality. And I guess this is partly why I do what I do, because I teach everyone that we create our own reality. Because and of course we're creating our reality all along. We see synchronicity, we see reality shifts, we see abundance increase the more we step into a positive frequency. But I believe the more of us believe that we create our own reality, and the more of us step into our power as creators, the more that's going to exponentially increase. Like every person that steps on the bandwagon of self-empowerment and create manifestation and the law of attraction, or whatever we call it, the more every person that steps on that wagon, it like empowers every other person. It's like every one more person that comes to believe fully that we create our own reality gives a little bit more creative power to every other person that's already creating their own reality. It's like a bit like the 100th monkey effect, I guess. It's like an exponential growth. It's like it amplifies everyone's ability to manifest collectively and individually. And so I guess part of the reason I'm doing this and I share all the time is because I know that the more people believe we create our own reality, the more we do create our own reality, the more we're collectively shifting our reality, and the more we collectively come to understand that we can create any reality we wish, and the more we can begin to create this golden love light golden age, as the more people get on board, and the more we can all have a better life. So I'm not sure what the question was. It's probably disappeared by now. Is it still there? Yeah, it's a lot of questions coming in. Yeah, I've lost the question. But yeah, it was basically about how does mass meditation affect our reality. So I believe this is how it works. It's like we are all creators of our own reality. It all exists with our own consciousness, but also we are one consciousness. There is no separation. We're all co-creating this reality. I guess it's coming to see that we're all the same being. Like you and me, we're all the same being. And so when one person's trying to manifest this and another person's trying to manifest this, if we're in the same reality, which one is going to manifest? Well, we're going to begin to shift realities to a reality where people are trying to manifest something more like us, but there's still this conflicting views in this reality. You know, we're not shifting completely. There's still sort of constraints in this reality, still sort of agreements that we're going to carry on playing out this negative theme for a little while longer yet. It's part of our catalyst. So I guess we've chosen to take on like accepting these negative entities in our reality that are trying to manipulate and control us because they act as catalysts for our own spiritual growth. So on some level we want this. So on some level there's always going to be conflicting frequencies, conflicting entities in our reality, like some people trying to create negative realities and some people trying to create positive realities. So when we're in that same reality, which one is going to manifest? Well, I guess it's which one creates the most energetic power to it. And so what happens when we mass meditate, group meditate with thousands of people, we're really outweighing the negative frequencies, the negative influences on the planet, the negative frequencies creating in this sphere, in this domain, this earth plane existence, become less because the higher frequencies become more. So I guess that's what's happening. There seems to be still some agreement that we're going to allow negative entities in this reality for some while longer yet, because it's acting as a great catalyst to accelerate our own spiritual growth. And this is what we need, really. A lot of us still need the negative catalyst to accelerate us into deep levels of self-realization and oneness and true understanding of our reality. It's like we can't accelerate fast enough without the catalyst of the negative frequencies in our reality to like drive us deeper into ourselves, like that diamonds being forged in the bowels of hell analogy I used. The diamonds being forged in the fires of Amenti. The fires of Amenti, the halls of Amenti. I don't know. I'm going off track. The fires of the bowels of the earth. So yeah, I guess this is what's happening, because we're still agreeing to allow negative frequencies in our reality to use them as catalysts. We're not completely shifting because we want that. Our higher self wants that for us, so we can accelerate through this crux period of evolution at this time. We want it as, because we're always getting exactly what we want, but we're always getting exactly what we want from the perspective of our higher self. And we still want that some of that negative catalyst in our reality at the moment to accelerate us forward, like the ching rubber band analogy, or the melon pip analogy, where you squeeze a melon seed really hard. It can't go this way, can't go that way. Ching, has to go that way. So we need these fires to forge this diamond that's going to ping out into the light. It's going to be crystallized. We still, from a higher perspective, we want this. We're always getting exactly what we want, but it's what we get. We don't think we want these negative energies to catalyze our own evolution, but we do. We know we do, from a higher self perspective. So we're not going to shift, like from staying in the higher frequencies. We're going to create a much better reality for ourselves, but we're not going to completely shift to a pure love, light, bliss reality yet, probably, because we still need this negative catalyst. So in a way, we're limiting our potential to instantaneously manifest our reality on a collective level and on a higher self level. So I guess the collective consciousness is in some way a reflection of our higher self, or our higher self wants to stay in a somewhat negatively oriented reality because that's the journey we've chose for ourselves. So we're only going to shift to a collective reality where there's so much more love light reality, but still the negative existence there to catalyze us into a higher consciousness reality. So we're still going to have those negative entities here to some level because it's what we want from a higher perspective. So we're going to be in this collective reality where we can explore and play the game of what will happen if we do mass meditations on love light frequency, because we wouldn't be able to play the exciting game of what happens if we do mass meditations on the love and light, because this is part of the lessons we're still learning. We're learning about the power of co-creation. So we've set up this game, we've set up this stage, we've set up this play for us so we can experience certain realities. And we still want the negative polarization at present because we still have a lot of learning we can garner from this reality. Really, we want this negative reality ultimately because this is where it's happening. This is the epic reality. You know, if we suddenly accelerated into a pure love, light, bliss reality, we wouldn't be able to experience and learn and grow at this accelerated rate. So maybe this explains how we can. So what's happening is, like, we're in this reality and there's still negatively oriented beings here because we've chosen to be in this reality because we like them, because they're helping us accelerate. But a group of us is mass meditating on love light frequencies. So we're in this hot potch collective reality where there's negative entities wanting to control and keep us down and manipulate us. But there's also this mass meditation towards the love light frequencies. And we're in that energetic ball, in that energetic bubble. The positive frequencies are beginning to outweigh the negative frequencies, and crime drops dramatically in these mass meditations. So I feel like I could sort of go all night today. I've really enjoyed this. So I think I'll probably do more Q&As in the future. I noticed some of the live streamers logged off. We were like up to about 32 live streamers when I requested people do super chats so I could answer their question. And I got one super chat, which is cool. But I think some people think I'm just doing it for the money. So they don't like it. So maybe I won't ask for super chats in the future because I'd rather just have, who knows? Who knows? Anyway. Hey, Adam. Nice to see you here, dude. Yeah, so good night, people. Another time shifts reality where 1 hour 15 minutes is gone in no time at all. So yeah, so what time should we say? It seems my live streams are shifting to a slightly later time. It's at 8 p.m. tonight almost. So yeah, probably sometime between 7 and 8 p.m. next week. Wednesday again. Say I'll aim for 7 p.m. 7:30. Yeah, it feels pretty cool doing it at this time of night. Yeah, so maybe 7:30 p.m. ish next week, next Wednesday. Thanks for logging on, guys. I'll see you same time next week. Good day. Bye. Are you sure you want to end your stream? Yes. And now, goodbye.